Hello there, Adams, and welcome back to Towns. To Twilight's Reach. Fledgling town, slowly getting on its feet. Welcome to Day 7. So, what are we going to do this time? Well, we got our guys with some basic armor and weapons, although they do need more armor. They need boots and helmets. We will get to that. But, as you see, we do have plenty of storage area. But this isn't exactly efficient. Yes, there is much better ways of storing items so that you can take 10 times less space than you normally do. In order to do this, we're basically just going to create some barrels. And we have raw materials, raw food, prepared food, tool chests, decorative, ITE, which I think that stands for items of tremendous energy? I don't know. Armor and weapons. So, we have plenty of raw material just scattered everywhere on this map right now. Alright, you got flowers, we have stones, we have some logs laying around, but we do actually want to get into automated log production. So, how about we go ahead and set up some storage right here, right next to where the logs are. Easy to grab stuff and shove it in barrels then. To do that, we're just gonna select an area with our raw materials, barrels, and simply place it. And that will allow our guys to get busy creating barrels to store things in. At the same time, we're going to start automating some log chopping. I want them to have 10 logs at all times. That seems like a pretty reasonable amount of wood to me. Let's see, what else would I like them to have at all times? There's glass, but that requires a smelter. Glass is actually going to become pretty useful when we're actually building. So you can make windows, mainly. But we need a smelter. In order to get a smelter, we need a few materials that I don't have. Well, there's one material I can get, but I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't know how the villagers cope with water rushing at them. So we're going to be leaving that iron there. Let's see. Oops, nope. So in order to get a smelter, you need an anvil and a lot of iron. An anvil requires a mason's bench, some tongs, some iron, and a stone hammer. Well, we know how to make a stone hammer, but what about tongs? Well, they're in the utilities area, and look at that, they require iron as well. So you need a whole bunch of iron in order to create a single smelter. But once you got all this stuff made, you don't need to make it again, really. So what's the best way to get iron? Well, unfortunately that's going to be requiring mining, which I don't really like to get into mining right away. I've actually started another town that I'm playing alongside this one, so I can kind of get a grasp on some things before I start rambling about it to you. One thing I want to make is an actual bunkhouse for these guys, so that they can stop sleeping on the ground and sleep, you know, where they need to. In their own personal room where they can get happier. Oh geez, that happiness dropped really fast. It was 5 when I started this episode. Well, I know one way of increasing their happiness, and that is to give them a nice sweet treat. So we're going to go to the gathering menu and tell them, hey, I want to have, 4 sugarcane ready to be used at all times. Of course, this is going to increase the amount of raw food we have in our storage, which doesn't work out very well because, well, there's not enough room for everything that I have ordered. And this rate alone covers it. on top of that, I have flour that I want all the time. So we're going to go ahead and make some raw food barrels as well. And we'll set them up right here. This gives us a huge amount of storage for the raw food. And I probably should also get a prepared food barrel, but we don't need to worry about that yet. So what am I going to use the sugarcane for? Well, we're going to use it to get some sugar. Duh. What else would you use sugarcane for? And sugar is an important ingredient for making cake. Cake. And we're going to have it so that there's always about 4 cakes. Now, when villagers eat cake, they get happy. Like this guy is. In fact, we can right-click and see what his happiness was at. It's only at 2. Let's see, John Grimold. Let's find him in here. Let's see, John Grimold. His happiness increased by 6. Pretty good amount. So, every now and then villagers will scarf down some cake that'll increase their general happiness, and when your happiness increases to what is needed, wow, it's down to 1, you get more villagers. So you can do things a lot easier. You can have villagers actually take breaks when let other villagers do jobs. I think it's a pretty good system. I wish you guys would actually get stuff done without losing happiness all the time. After these barrels are made, it'll start to balance itself out, especially with people eating cake all the time. It's like dwarves versus zombies in here. Enough of a cake. Okay. So, where would I put the bunkhouse anyway? Well, I'm not sure yet. I mean, I can always tear it down and move it later, but we have a lot of land around us that is flat, but it's covered in trees. And the other land that's not flat, well, I can get material out of it by flattening it, but that's going to require a lot of work, and these guys will probably get pretty grumpy after a while. Happiness is back up to 2. So, what should I do then? Well, how about I start out by digging up a foundation? See, I said earlier that I want to have my houses with 2 floors. My bunkhouse. The problem with that is it kind of is dependent on having a smelter, so I can put windows in. So maybe I should just skip that and make a more cozy bunkhouse. Not much else in there that I need to look at right now. So what we'll do instead is just make some dormitory beds. These can go pretty much anywhere, and while it's not inside, at least they'll be able to sleep on something, right? Let's see, rotate that. There. So they'll go ahead and make some beds, and it's going to require a lot of wood, but since the wood is growing back pretty fast, it shouldn't take too horribly long. And I forgot that I'm actually sped up a bit as well, because if of my record key. This is the speed it usually goes at. So, day 9. Now, I'm curious if I can actually stack these beds on top of each other. So if I can, then I might want to actually consider doing that next time. I'll probably do that when I make a barracks. So where am I going to actually start my mine at then? Because eventually I'll need a mine. Though the worrying thing about mines is getting down to the dungeon levels where you can find a bunch of spiders and stuff. But if I have everyone equipped with a full set of wooden armor, not just a basic set, they should be able to handle a group of spiders pretty easily. Look at them eat that cake. No happiness in town at all. That's disappointing. But she's happy at least. Well, after all the beds are made, I will stop the recording and probably call it an episode. Because I want to get a good schedule down for this game. I probably should get another flour mill installed too, but we don't really need to worry about that yet. Come on, the happiness should be increasing. I've seen a lot of people eat cake. So where should I put my mine then? I don't need to worry too much about my villagers encountering the froggies, because the only jungle area is way down here. And unless the froggies come and start climbing over this mountain here, they'll stay pretty much out of my way. Perhaps... perhaps I should use this hill here to start the mine. It's kind of out of the way, not right next to the village, so if anything starts trying to get out of the mine and into the overworld area, they won't be popping up right where my villagers are trying to sleep. You know, I think I'll actually do that. This is where I'm going to do my mine. I will also take these trees out as well. Get the fruit from them, chop them down, use them for wood. Well, my happiness is increasing at least. I suppose there's that. To encourage them to get more wood. So we're going to do it kind of smart and at the same time a little stupid. We're going to harvest these trees and then chop them down for their wood. There we go. Alright. We're pretty close to getting all the beds finished. Oh! Good news, there's going to be a trade caravan. But we'll have to be taking a look at that next episode. Let's see what kind is that. Pinky Merchant. No idea what that is. Alright guys, we're gonna have to call it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave. I will see you next episode. Take care. Goodbye.